They needed to be better on that side of the basketball, finishing possessions. What I'm more impressed with is the offensive rebounding, the way that they are attacking the offensive glass and generating second chance opportunities, 9 of those early, just in the first quarter.
How does Indiana respond? Tiffany, you've got more.
Well, just coming out of that huddle, I watched Coach Stephanie White emphatically storm over to that bench, and she got on them just about the effort and how they need to do a better job of making adjustments in this one, guys.
They get the stop there as Boston got ahead to Clark. Clark coast to coast takes the contact. No whistle. Ball bounces out of bounds. It'll be Fever ball.
2 came to Clark. I thought there was an opportunity for her to maybe shovel pass or kick it, right? At this point, it's a brick wall that you're going into.
Indiana without a field goal since the 7:30 mark in the first quarter. Mitchell trying to put a stop to that. She can't get it, but she does pick up the foul, and that'll be against Late.
The baseline out of bounds execution, and Mitchell found herself open in the restricted area.
Mitchell with just 2 points, 1 of 4 from the floor. The job that Mitchell did last year with all the injuries to this Indiana Fever squad, guiding them to Game 5 of the semifinals against the Aces. Misses the first free throw. Well, tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern, catch beach volleyball at its best, live from Belmar, New Jersey. Don't miss the AVP League on CBS and streaming live on Paramount+. How is Belmar, New Jersey? You're from Jersey?
Yeah, decent. Good place for some beach volleyball, I'll tell you that.
Mitchell splits a pair. And going back to what head coach Alex Sarama said for Portland in this rematch against the Fever, we've got to attack these switches better. They've been doing it with those rolls as well. Late. See Boston comes over. Engstler left wide open. Oh, it is so good.
She was wide open in rhythm.
The lead is ballooned to 16 for the Fire. Hole over to Boston. Where did the Fever get a bucket on this possession? Clark lost her 2 defenders to try and stop the drought. No good. Rebound to Late. Engstler barreling down the floor, flips it up. No good. A wrestle for the basketball between Boston and Gustafson. And the 2 will tip it off.
Like I said, Engstler just open. I'm not sure why Boston went to double, and she looked like she had gotten an instruction from her coaching staff to go and rush Late on the ball. But it left M open, and she's a capable 3-point shooter.
She's shooting 41% from 3, so that's a very risky,
more than capable,
defensive play to believe. And how about the hustle from Engstler? Can't get it, saves it back to Boston. And Mitchell bobbles it, loses it. Carlton this time eyes up ahead. Will retreat and set things up in the half court. Booner, no hesitation. Booner blocked by Billings. Engstler through traffic, drops it. 5 straight for her. Indiana needs a timeout. The Fire roaring here in Portland.
and Steph White, a great story about someone who has played in this league, come back and coached in this league, and has had success.
We saw the quick note about the Fire. They were part of this league from 2000 to 2002, and they call this their debut season again. Here's Johnson. Johnson finally gets a field goal for the Fever for the first time since 7:30 in the first quarter.
They like running that action for Johnson, going right, and she does such a good job of using the glass on her jump shot. Johnson
had 16 points on the road against Golden State, a season high for the rookie. Gustafson will let it fly from the corner. Oh, it is good.
Even on a back pass, didn't matter.
37-18 advantage for Portland. Mitchell flips it over to Johnson. Hole in the corner. The Fever still looking for their first 3 of the night. We have a foul on the rebound.
And Carla Late, the point guard who sets the table for this team, but can easily call her own number. You see the spin cycle. How about the delivery inside? And then this is my favorite one. Creates and initiates the contact to get a little space and finish around Clark. She has been dynamic.
The foul was on Gustafson, and one shot coming here now for Indiana as Late gets picked up for the foul before the ball was inbounded. We look at her career and the scoring going up, because with a lot of players taken in the expansion draft, they were in supplementary roles on their teams, or maybe didn't have the highest minutes, they're getting picked up to now be marquee players, and you're seeing players like Carlton and Late step up to the responsibility.
Yeah, what I love so much about Late's story is she was on the Valkyries last year, so she has experience being on an expansion team and knowing what it takes to be good, and has brought that here to the Fire.
Johnson crossover from up top, shot clock at 3. Mitchell flips it, pass deflected. Timpson, does she get it up in time? They're going to take another look at this, and they're going to call a shot clock violation. She was just a beat too slow.
It was so close, but let me tell you what I'm seeing in that possession. Ball movement. Ball movement. The ball moved side to side multiple times. Timpson found herself open. Yeah, just a half a second late. But the ball movement looked much better in that half-court set for the Fever.
7th turnover for the Fever. How about the Fire, who had 28 turnovers last night in that loss to Atlanta, sitting at just 3. Booner fouled. It was Johnson that came over to try and challenge the shot, and Booner will head to the free throw line.
Booner here on the seal along the baseline, creates a little bit of contact.
I was going to say,
Boston,
a little physical,
yes,
right
a little too much contact, but not called. Boston trying to help, picks up the extra one.
Well, Beth and Rip are back in Dutton Ranch from the producers of Yellowstone, starring Cole Hauser, Kelly Riley, Ed Harris, and Annette Benning. Dutton Ranch, now streaming on Paramount+. The rookie hits the second free throw. The lead is 20 for Portland with 7 minutes left here in the first half. Mitchell pops free, works around the Boston screen. Gustafson switches onto her. And then a foul on Late as she picks up another foul. And that's the 3rd personal on Carla Late.
Like she was trying to get back in the play.
So Stephanie White is having a conversation with the officials about how some of the off-ball defenders are grabbing either the screeners or the rollers by the waist, and that was an off-ball foul there. So we'll see if they tighten the whistle. Johnson attacking from the free throw line. Similar action to last possession. Johnson working against Booner into the paint. Tough 1-2 step and draws the foul. You love her game. You love her game.
Well, it's the aggressiveness that she's playing with right now. As a rookie, Steph White told us coming off her season best last game that she's playing with more aggression. She's not afraid to get into the paint, to play physical, and to score the basketball. And I think what I liked most about what Steph White said when Raven Johnson's in the game, that the pace of the team picks up, that Raven Johnson is so fast with the basketball, they feel like they almost play faster with her as the one. But she is showing an intention to score the basketball. And if you watch Raven Johnson in college, that was not her calling card. She was the ultimate point guard, utility player, set up her team, and a defensive stopper. But in the next level, she said, I can score the ball.
Was the SEC Defensive Player of the Year, and now you've got Boston on the bench for Indiana, as well as Clark. Mitchell gets a hand on it, deflects it back to Carlton. 12 to shoot. Oblak. Mitchell switches late onto her. Oblak inside, and a foul whistled against Indiana. This one might also be against Johnson. It is, so Johnson picks up her 3rd personal in the first half.
She's trying to guard Geiselsuter inside, not able to get around her. And Clark clearly frustrated with just the start of this game on the road for the Fever. Also lost the last one to the Valkyries, so they're trying to get back on track.
Indiana shooting just 25% from the field. They have yet to hit a 3. Oblak inside. Poch attacking. Pop a shot. Can't get it. Gets her own miss. How about the hustle?
You can see her athleticism there on the glass. Just immediately goes and gets her miss. And as the shooter, you have the best idea of where that ball is going to fall. Timpson doesn't box her out. She makes them pay. Too many of those plays where the hustle is the difference in this game. If I'm Steph White, that's the conversation at halftime. And if I'm really being honest, we're playing professional basketball. Hustle shouldn't be a thing we have to talk about.
Well said, well said. So Mitchell will go to the free throw line. That last foul was on Sarah Ashley Barker, about 80 feet away from the basket. So that'll send Mitchell to the line. Mitchell 2 of 3 from the free throw line in the early going with 4 points. And that was one of the most pure free throws I've ever seen. As Caitlin Clark checks back in. I mean, that is textbook right there. Didn't even touch the rim.
I feel like the pace of play for the Fever needs to take it up a notch. They're not getting things in transition. They like to play fast, but it starts with defense. That's what Clark told us. We got to get stops so we can get our best offense going.
2 perfect free throws. Still a 19-point advantage for Portland. A lot of time left in this game, though. Clark, Cunningham, Hines Allen, Timpson, and Mitchell. Mitchell ties it up, forces the turnover. Here's Mitchell, foot on the gas, dumps it off. Hines Allen's rolling to the cup, and a great finish.
Love that Mitchell off of the defense, then able to create transition opportunities, and Hines Allen does the rest.
Oblak waiting for a ball screen. Barker sets it, flares up top. Barker will try the 3, no good. Will bounce out of bounds, Indiana ball.
Back-to-back good defensive possessions for the Fever, but it's Kelsey Mitchell who got in the passing lanes, got the steal, and then drops off a dime to Hines Allen, who can do that all day long.
The Fever have strung together consecutive stops. Now you're trying to get things going on the offensive end here. Hines Allen whips it over to Timpson in the corner. Looking to hand it off to Clark. She wheels around. Mitchell, beautiful cut. Beautiful basketball, might I say here.
And that's the second time we've seen Mitchell with that 45 angle cut right in the heart of the defense. Completely loses them.
Oblak trying to get the Fire back on track. Scoop shot no good. Hines Allen rebound. Up ahead, Cunningham pushing the pace. 2-on-1 opportunity. Cunningham, a little show and go. And that's going to be an offensive foul against Cunningham.
Offensively for the Fever, the dime from Hines Allen, a nice backdoor cut from Mitchell. Soph tried to go with the fake pass, and then it was that offhand that I believe was called for the offensive. Shout out to Enster, who stood her ground. Stood her ground.
The foul starting to pile up for both teams. Oblak, Clark checking her. Oblak between the legs. Oblak stumbling to the floor. Clark stands her ground.
Yeah, that was forced. She didn't have the angle. You don't have it. Pivot, don't panic, find a teammate.
Hines Allen dumps it back off to Clark. Chased by Barker. Clark, baseline jumper. Can't get it to drop. That ball knocked out of bounds. It'll be Portland ball.
Yeah, it's just a tough shot and well defended. You can tell that the Portland Fire, as they should be, are keying in on Clark. So it seems like every time she puts the ball on the floor, there are 2 defenders that are shading in that direction.
And with that, it's a matter of then reading the defense as far as finding what's open on the weak side, I imagine.
Absolutely.
Angsler, she'll roll. She's got space. Geiselsuter flips it over. Barker, corner 3, knocks it down.
Love the spray from Geiselsuter. Deep in the paint, almost had a layup, but gave up a good shot for a greater one in the 3-pointer.
The ball movement from the Fire. We got 10 assists already and another stop for Portland.
Yeah, that was telegraphed. I even knew that was going inside.
Oblak will slow it down. Carlton. Geiselsuter looking for positioning. Walled off by Cunningham. Carlton the drive on Hines Allen. Rolling. Her step back. It's short. Ball tap free. That's going to be a loose ball foul on Geiselsuter. That'll be Indiana down on the other end.
And this is just the unselfishness of the Fire. Ball deep into the paint. Geiselsuter, what a beautiful pass, right on the money. And Sarah Ashley Barker was a huge scorer in college. That is an easy look for her.
Barker talked about how Portland now feels like home for her and what it meant joining this expansion team. And from the very first day she stepped foot in Portland, it just felt completely different. And being a part of this franchise in this season and getting a chance to build the culture was just something that was so special to her. The WNBA app, built by Deloitte, is your home court for all things WNBA. Stay in the game with the latest schedule, where to watch, game alerts, and more. Scan the QR code to download now. So you've got Indiana, the top-rated offense in the W, that beat Portland by 17 less than 2 weeks ago. Portland now leads by 17. How would you summarize the way this game has just gone now?
You know, it also feels like two different games because the last time they played, there were 3 players for the Portland Fire that were waived. I mean, they have revamped their roster in the last 10 days. And Kelsey Mitchell's defense, though, has been revamped in this quarter.
She has stepped it up on 3 different possessions. Carlton pokes it away, and then a foul was whistled. It'll go against Carlton. That'll be her second.
Well, this is how you be disruptive. Now she's going to make the pass, getting the deflection, fought her off. Oh, how about the change in direction she was going to go with, and then that's how she draws the foul on the ball manipulation.
You said somebody has to step up defensively for Indiana. It's been Mitchell with really individual plays that have led to runouts. And Indiana starting to chop away what was once a 20-point lead for Portland.
Think too about Aaliyah Boston telling us that she's the back-end defender on a lot of action, so she needs to communicate a bit better. And it seemed like talking to her, Sophie, and Caitlin, that communication is the main thing right now defensively.
Mitchell now with 10 points, 2 steals. Lead is 14 for Portland still with just over 3 minutes left here in the first half. 10 assists on 16 field goals for the Fire. Cunningham comes over from the weak side, knocks it down.
Yeah, that's an adjustment we've seen by Steph White. The help now intercepting the pass to the roller. Indiana
still without a 3. They're 0 for 9. Boston, Hines Allen, it was the right read, just couldn't quite complete it. Indiana, it's just their 2nd consecutive game here.
And yesterday, I mean, they lost that game, but for 3 quarters, they played great basketball.
Barker, the crossover, no whistle, can't convert. Clark will hustle it down the court.
Credit to Clark for guarding one-on-one and not giving up a foul there.
Boston carves out some real estate, can't finish though. Typically automatic from there. Portland, they won't mind. Barker flips it back up top to Late. Late, checked by Clark. Late, free throw line jumper, it's pure.
That jump shot was like butter. So smooth, in rhythm. She had a nice game. Such a nice game as Carla Late.
Has really blossomed here in the Rose City. Boston lowers the shoulder. Offensive foul going back the other way.
This is an area of AB's game that she's working to improve. She gets called for at least one of these a game. Gustafson is there first, accepts the contact, and that is an easy one to call. The physicality that Boston plays with, you can expect her to go into you and try to get into you. And Gustafson, just a smarter defender.
Late trying to use the Barker screen, wants to move Enxler out of there. On the wing, kicks it over, Enxler inside, Gustafson catch and fouled. And again, the sure-handed mitts of Megan Gustafson down low.
It's the same play we saw a couple of minutes ago on the replay, where Aaliyah Boston is up at the top and just goes to randomly double the basketball. And Portland, rather than trying to beat the double off the dribble, they beat it off the pass.
Coming up on the Deloitte halftime report, Jenny Dell, Renee Montgomery, and Deb Antonelli will break down the first half and get you updated on news around the league. That's all coming up on the Deloitte halftime report. And it's so interesting, this offense for Portland, they use the term shapes and how to read the defense is when we talk to them.
Shapes something offensively that whenever the defense is in a certain configuration, so to speak, it triggers things for their offense to do.
Clark wins the pass. Oh, coming over. Enxler erases it.
This is where Ann gets her fire from. On the weak side, help from New York City. Not today.
Came over to New York minute. Hines Allen foul down low. And Carlton going to pick up her 3rd foul with 1:31 left here in the first half.
What a dime, though, from CC, but Enxler just beats her right up top. Left hand, doesn't get the contact. It's a beautiful block. Leads the league in blocks.
And his tops and combined steals and blocks. And Coach Sarama said she is our best defensive player, the way that she can defend pick and roll coverage. And if you can defend pick and roll well, you have a chance to be a great defensive. Carlton does not pick up her 3rd foul. The ball went into the hands for the Fire, so they also get possession. That turns into a defensive stop on that challenge, Ice. Everything you could ask for.
Great job by the staff just to see that, to challenge it early, use it in the first half.
Also trying to get it in bounds. 3-on-2. It's Exler that catches it on the run, flips it ahead. Barker, this would be a big one for three. No good. Hard to believe Indiana still does not have a made three. Boston doesn't get any easier than that catch and finish.
Rotations were wonky in that possession for the Fire.
Clark now with 4 assists in the first half. Just over 1 minute left here in the opening half as one of the biggest surprises in the W. The Fire have been surprising this half. Barker, three, too strong. Rebound into the hands of Clark. Clark to Boston has been the connection. They do it again. Boston kicks it out. Cunningham for three. It's good. The first made three of the half for Indiana, and it's a big one.
What a high IQ play from Boston. I thought she could have went up with the layup, but saw Cunningham. He's a 41% three-point shooter as of late.
It's a season high in points and a half so far for the Fire. Barker working against Clark. Clark had to be careful. Barker wasn't. 2 more for her.
Hesitation just froze Clark for a second to get her the advantage.
About a 4-second differential between shot and game clock. It's Mitchell with Barker eyeing her. Mitchell waiting for the screen. It's Boston that sets it. Boston rolls. Hines Allen the drive. Hines Allen puts it up. Dies at the rim. Swatted out of bounds by Exler. It'll be Indiana ball with 7.3 left on the game clock.
50 points in this first half. A lot of ISO ball for the Fire. Barker just along the baseline makes a way. Tough finish.
So one last look for the Fever here. Clark to inbound. It's Mitchell between the legs, flips it over, and then a foul down low against Oblak, and that's going to send Sophie Cunningham to the line with 4.6 seconds remaining.
Cunningham, a taller guard, sometimes plays the 4 for the Fever. You could just see her trying to create a duck-in opportunity in the post. I guess Oblak, too much contact.
Cunningham with 5 points off the bench. She has just been one of those veteran vocal presences for this Indiana team, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And listen, this is a team that's battle-tested. They have dealt with injuries and different lineups and adversity, and being down 14 at half, certainly something that they have the capability to overcome.
To me, I think there are a lot of just self-inflicted wounds that have been in the first half.
Where does Portland look here at 4.6?
Gotta go quick.
Oblak hustling. Oblak eyeing the clock. Hines Allen, great help defense to wall off any opportunity. But the Fire remains hot here in Portland. They lead 50-37. It's a season high for points and a half for Portland. And Indiana